On the biggest stage in all of American sports, the final score tells you who won. Sure, but it almost never tells you how. And the Super Bowl elects? Oh, it was no exception. So today, we're going to unpack the story that's hiding inside the numbers to show you how this game was really won and lost. So here it is, the final score. Seattle Seahawks 29, New England Patriots 13. And if you just looked at that, you'd think, okay, a comfortable 16-point win for Seattle. A pretty solid, maybe not so spectacular championship victory. But here's the question. Was it really a blowout? I mean, did Seattle just dominate from the opening kickoff all the way to the final whistle? Well, as you're about to see, the story of this game is really a tale of two completely different contests that just happened to be rolled into one. Okay, let's start here. For the first 45 minutes of this game, this didn't feel like a Super Bowl. It felt like a gritty, grinding, defensive stalemate. This was a war fought down in the trenches for every single inch. Just look at this scoreboard. Through 3 full quarters of football, the mighty New England Patriots offense held completely scoreless, a big goose egg, 0 points. Now, Seattle was building a lead, but it was all through field goals. It was 3-0 after the first, 9-0 at the half, and just 12-0 heading into that final quarter. Seriously, this was anybody's game. In this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures what those first 3 quarters felt like. The defenses were just suffocating, turning a single first down into this huge, monumental achievement. In a war of attrition like this one, your most valuable soldier, well, it's sometimes the one you'd least expect. And in this case, it was Seattle's kicker, Jason Myers. That number, 17, that was his point total for the day. He was a perfect 5 for 5 on field goals. Now, I want you to let that sink in for a second. One player, a kicker, single-handedly outscored the entire New England Patriots roster. I mean, that stat right there shows you just how dominant Seattle's defense was and how absolutely crucial their special teams were in building that lead. And then we get to the fourth quarter. This is where everything, and I mean everything, changed. That slow, grinding trench war, it suddenly just erupted into absolute chaos. And for New England, it was a total, complete implosion. So here's the timeline of the disaster. The Patriots finally get on the board. They're showing signs of life. They're making it a game again. But just as that little flicker of hope started to grow, Seattle's defense just slammed the door shut, cashing in on a series of catastrophic mistakes that blew this game wide open. After struggling for 3 quarters, the pressure on the Patriots' offense became just unbearable. They had to start taking risks to get back in the game. And let me tell you, Seattle's defense was just licking their chops, waiting to pounce. It all started with the pass rush. The Seahawks sacked quarterback Drake Maye 6 times. The offensive line just crumbled, completely fell apart, leaving their quarterback with no time to think, let alone make a play. The pressure was just relentless. And what happens when pressure leads to panic? Well, panic leads to mistakes. And the Patriots turned the ball over 3 times in the absolute most critical moments of the game. Basically, just handing a championship-caliber opponent golden opportunities on a silver platter. So let's break these down. 2 interceptions and a lost fumble, all from the quarterback. And that last mistake, that was a nail in the coffin. An interception returned all the way for a touchdown that put the game completely and totally out of reach. Okay, so while New England was completely collapsing, what was Seattle doing right? Well, they were executing a classic championship formula. Pure physical dominance combined with absolutely flawless discipline. It all started on the ground. I mean, look at this difference. Seattle ran for 141 yards compared to New England's 79. And this wasn't just about gaining yards. This was about controlling the entire tempo of the game. And that right there is the essence of what we call ball control. See, by running the ball so effectively, Seattle kept their own defense fresh, they wore down the Patriots' defense, and most importantly, they kept that Patriots' offense on the sideline. They dictated the terms of the fight. And the engine of that whole ball control attack was this man, Kenneth Walker III. His 135 rushing yards, that was more than the entire Patriots team managed to get on the ground. It was a truly dominant workhorse performance. But you know what? Maybe the most telling stat of the entire game is sitting right here. 0 turnovers for Seattle, 3 for New England. In a game of this magnitude, sometimes that's the only number that really matters. Seattle played a clean, disciplined game. while New England, well, they just self-destructed. So, when you put it all together, the story of this game becomes crystal clear. This was not a 60-minute blowout. No way. It was a 45-minute fistfight, followed by a 15-minute knockout. This final slide, it really says it all, doesn't it? Seattle dominated the line of scrimmage, both running the ball and protecting their quarterback. They won the turnover battle decisively. And, get this, their kicker outscored the entire opposing team. This is how you win a Super Bowl. You win the physical battles, you protect the football, and you capitalize on every single one of your opponent's mistakes. So it kind of leaves us with one last thought. We've all heard that old saying, right? Defense wins championships. And Seattle's defense was, for sure, elite. But when your kicker scores 17 points in the biggest game of the year, it really makes you wonder, maybe those old cliches need a little bit of an update.